I remember the way she held the pen, tight, like she wanted to snap it in half. We sat across from each other in the conference room while she signed the final divorce papers. No tears, no raised voice, just a sharp exhale every time her name hit the page. When she finished, she didn't look at me. She stared at the window behind me, jaw tight, eyes hollow. That moment sent me back to the night everything collapsed. When Nicole smirked at me in our living room and said,
Marcus, I've been sleeping with the neighbor for years.
She said it like she was proud. She expected me to fall apart. Instead, I smiled. Chapter 1. Before. I met Nicole 9 years earlier at a charity cooking event. I'd recently sold a software tool to a logistics company and moved into consulting. Nicole handled marketing for a local design firm. Quick jokes, loud laugh, the kind of woman who fills a room without trying. We clicked fast. Within a year, we moved in together. Another year later, we stood in a courthouse exchanging rings. Before the wedding, my mentor Brian pulled me aside.
Marcus, get a prenup. You work too hard to gamble on goodwill.
I hated the idea. It felt cold. Nicole hated it more.
Why are we planning the divorce before the wedding? What does that say about how you see us?
It says I'm careful.
It says you don't trust me.
It says I love you and I want us both protected. She had her own lawyer review everything. In the end, she signed.
This thing will never matter, she said, pen in hand. But fine. Whatever you need.
The agreement was simple. If either of us cheated, the guilty party walked away with only personal belongings and a small settlement. Simple, clean, signed. Chapter 2. The Shift. The first couple years were good. Quiet dinners, slow Sundays, weekend drives just to get out of the city. Then Nicole miscarried. It hit harder than either of us admitted out loud. She shut down. I tried to keep things steady, but some days we moved through the house like strangers. After a few months, we agreed to stop trying and give it time. It sounded reasonable. Looking back, it was the first crack. Nicole threw herself into work. Networking events, brand parties, marketing nights.
It helps me feel like myself again. You understand that, right?
Of course,
Don't wait up. This client runs late.
her schedule stretched. Her makeup got heavier. Her clothes got more polished. Then Tyler moved in next door. Fitness trainer, polished smile, a habit of working on his motorcycle at odd hours. Nicole introduced herself the first day he arrived.
He's starting a fitness brand. I might help him with some ideas.
Sure,
He's ambitious. You'd like him, actually.
I nodded. Something in her tone felt too enthusiastic. A few weeks later, I noticed a credit account had been opened in my name. Nicole, what is this?
It must have been a paperwork mistake. I told them to fix it.
You told who to fix it?
The bank. Relax, Marcus. It's handled.
I let it go. I shouldn't have. Chapter 3. The Pattern. Nicole's work nights shifted from occasional to routine. Twice a week became 3. She'd step out in heels and tight dresses, a confident walk that didn't match the story she was selling me.
This client only does late meetings. You know how it is.
Which client?
You don't know them. It's a new brand.
Every week.
Marcus, it's networking. You wouldn't get it.
Her tone changed. Lighter when she was on her phone, sharper when she talked to me. Tyler became a regular topic.
Tyler has really good ideas about brand positioning. Tyler wants to expand into corporate wellness. I've been helping him map it out.
How often are you two meeting?
When it's necessary. Why?
Because you talk about him every day.
Because we're working together. That's what professionals do. Her voice sharpened. Don't make it weird.
Then, one afternoon, my friend Jake pulled me aside after lunch.
Marcus, keep an eye on your accounts. If Nicole's setting anything up, make sure you're not on paperwork you didn't sign.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I've seen this before. Just watch.
A week later, a bank called. Mr. Carter, we're confirming your application for a business line of credit tied to your home address. I hadn't applied for anything. That evening. Nicole, there's a business line of credit application under my name. I didn't apply for this.
Marcus, I was helping Tyler set up an account for his brand. I used our address by mistake. I already told them to cancel it.
You used my name without asking.
It was an administrative error. Why do you always overreact?
Because this is the second time.
And both times it was nothing. Can you please just trust me?
She said it without looking up from her phone. That night, she came home at 1:30 a.m. Expensive perfume. Someone else's cologne underneath it. She kissed my cheek, quick, mechanical, and went straight to the shower. I watched the bathroom door close and understood something simple. I didn't know my wife anymore. Chapter 4. What I found. I wasn't snooping. I opened our shared cloud folder to find a receipt and instead found a photo I had never taken. Nicole in our bedroom, wearing a dress I'd never seen, holding her phone toward the mirror. Her smile had a different energy, private, lit from somewhere I wasn't invited. I scrolled. One image became 2. 2 became 10. Then I found the message screenshots she'd saved by accident. Words from Tyler. Words from her. Timestamps going back years. Dinner nights. Work trips. Times I thought she was grieving the miscarriage. Moments I held her while she cried. All while she was with him, next door. My hands didn't shake, my chest didn't tighten. I just went very quiet. I saved everything. Then I called Jake.
I'm looking at these files right now.
And?
Marcus, she's been playing both sides for a long time. A pause. Don't confront her yet. Set the ground before you move.
How long?
Give me a few days. I'll have everything ready.
Chapter 5. The night. 3 days later, I told Nicole I had a client emergency out of town.
Okay, have fun.
That was it. No concern, no questions. That told me everything. I drove around for 20 minutes, parked 2 blocks away, came back on foot. It was nearly midnight when I stepped inside. I heard voices immediately. Nicole's, soft, flirtatious. Tyler's, low and relaxed. From the living room. When I walked in, they weren't scrambling. They were sitting close on the couch, easy, comfortable, like this was their home. Nicole leaned back, crossed her arms, and gave me that smirk.
Well, guess the secret's out. A pause. I've been sleeping with the neighbor for years. Marcus.
She said it like she expected me to explode. I smiled. The way her face shifted, from confidence to confusion, was the first moment she understood something had changed. Tyler stood up, wide eyes, stiff shoulders, ready to bolt. Relax, I said, keeping my tone even. You're leaving, that's all. He opened his mouth.
Sit down, Tyler, Nicole ordered. Marcus needs to hear the truth.
Tyler, don't make this harder. Get out. He hesitated, waiting for Nicole's cue. When she didn't look at him, he grabbed his jacket and left without a word. The door closed. The room went silent. Chapter 6. The Confrontation. Nicole crossed her legs and stared at me.
So, say something. Yell. Do what men usually do.
I sat in the armchair across from her. No, not interested.
You can't just sit there like this isn't a big deal.
It's a big deal, just not the way you expected.
What does that mean?
It means I know about the messages, the photos, the hotel receipts, the loan application you tried to push through with my name. Her face drained.
Jake, Marcus, that wasn't...
All of it was. Every part. She shifted strategy immediately. Voice softening.
I was lonely. You were working nonstop after the miscarriage. I didn't know how to talk to you anymore. I felt invisible. You stopped noticing me. In bed, everywhere. You made me feel like I was just furniture, like something you tolerated instead of wanted.
And Tyler fixed that?
He listened. He actually paid attention. You haven't touched me like you meant it in over a year. I'm not making excuses. I'm telling you what happened.
You're telling me why you made the choice, not why it was acceptable.
I'm saying I was desperate. I was lonely and I made the worst decision of my life, and I kept making it because I didn't know how to stop.
How long? She swallowed.
2 years, maybe a little more.
2 years.
Marcus, I know. I know what I did. But people work through this. We can fix it. We can go to counseling. We can...
You remember the agreement you signed before the wedding? Her head snapped up.
No, you're not seriously.
You cheated. You lied. You forged my name on a credit application. The prenup applies.
You can't do that to me. I gave you my best years.
And I gave you a contract you broke. She stood.
So that's it? Years together and you're throwing me away over one mistake?
2 years isn't a mistake. It's a decision you kept making.
Fine. What do you want? An apology? Money? What?
A clean divorce, under the terms you agreed to.
Jake, Marcus, please, you can't leave me with nothing.
You'll keep your clothes, your personal items, and your car. I'll cover 1 month of rent on a new place if you're out in 30 days.
That's cruel.
It's the contract you signed with your own lawyer sitting next to you. She slapped the back of the couch.
I'll fight it. I'll tell everyone how cold you were, how you ignored me, how you pushed me away and never made me feel wanted, how you checked out of our marriage long before I did.
You can say whatever you want. Cheating and fraud don't disappear because you tell a story. Her anger cracked, replaced by panic.
Tyler will back me up.
He left the minute things got uncomfortable. You really think he's showing up in court for you? She didn't answer. Chapter 7. The Papers. Jake drafted the official divorce documents the next morning. Nicole found a lawyer, but her confidence vanished the second her attorney reviewed the evidence.
She has no case, Marcus. The prenup is airtight. The fraud documentation is solid, and the affair evidence is extensive. Her lawyer knows it.
How long?
She'll sign by the end of the week. She has no leverage left.
He was right. By Friday, the fight drained out of her. She signed everything. No courtroom, no dramatic breakdown, just a slow collapse into reality. The house went up for sale. Nicole packed her things quietly. I signed the final papers with a steady hand. Chapter 8. After. The fallout hit fast. 2 weeks after Nicole moved into a small rental across town, a mutual friend told me Tyler had ended things. Not gently. He told her he didn't want chaos in his life. That sentence told me everything about what their relationship actually was. Nicole had bet her future on a man who folded the second things got complicated. At work, her boss reduced her hours after she had a breakdown during a meeting. She texted me once.
Can we talk? Just 5 minutes.
I stared at it, then typed, "There's nothing to discuss. I hope you're okay." She tried again a week later.
Please, Marcus. I just want to explain. I just want you to understand why.
It won't change anything. She stopped after that. My life shifted in quiet, steady ways. New apartment downtown. Simple furniture. No memories attached to anything. I grew closer to Sophie at work. Sharp mind, steady presence. Conversations that felt natural, without performance. Almost a year later, Nicole sent one final email. Subject: I'm sorry.
I'm admitting everything. Every lie, every step, every decision I tried to justify. Losing Tyler, losing the house, losing the stability I took for granted. It forced me into an honesty I'd never faced before. I'm in therapy. I'm rebuilding. I know I can't undo any of it. I just hope your life is better now. You deserved something steadier than what I gave you.
I let it sit for 3 days, then replied simply, "Thank you for your message. I hope you keep moving forward. Take care of yourself." That was all. Closing my laptop, I understood something. Closure didn't come from her apology. It didn't come from the prenup or the divorce or exposing the truth. It came from recognizing that I had survived something that should have broken me and walked out stronger. A year earlier, she stood in our living room smirking, believing she held every card. She thought confessing would crush me. Instead, I smiled. And that smile was the start of getting my life back. Living well wasn't revenge. It was freedom. That's where this story ends. Thank you for listening. If this one stayed with you, subscribe, leave a like, and turn on notifications. See you in the next one.